You are now listening to the National Show with Gangsterville and McGee. The National Show, the National Show, the National Show, no show, no show. The National Show, the National Show, the National Show, no show, no show. All right, No Nation. This is the National Show with Gangster Vizil and McGee. If you are watching, listening, please subscribe on YouTube. That's YouTube at National NATIONOLE. We're on IG and X, and all the links you can be found in one spot, our link tree, which is linktree/National Show. That's NATIONOLESHOW. All right, y'all. We are back again with some off-season workouts, Just got my stretching in, just did some cardiovascular, So, yeah. Let's get everybody else up to date and in shape with no sports.
Just off the treadmill, baby. Just off the treadmill. Right. I got to do the elliptical because of the knees, because I'm old. So I got low impact. Yeah, man. It's another show. It's another off-season workout.
Yep.
I hope you're good. I don't know what you're up to this weekend. All I know is it's very hard to get me away from the TV on Masters weekend. Right? Like I haven't shaved. I'm a mess. I'm just it's just me staring at the TV for 4 days. It's a big deal. And we got two Noles. So let's just jump right into the Pro No Report, right? The Pro No Report, right. Sponsored by National.com until we find somebody else to sponsor it.
Right.
We have two Noles in the Masters this year. Our guy, Luke Clanton, did not get the invite, even though top tier amateur, he should be there. He deserves to be there. I suspect next year he will be a weapon. He will be a beast at the Masters. I don't know. You got to assume if he's playing golf at Florida State, he's familiar with southern golf style, southern golf courses, southern weather, etc. It's not that far of a drive, a bit of a home game. So we're rooting for him next year. But this year, Daniel Berger is out on the course right now in the middle of the second round, or he's about 4 or 5 holes in. And so is Brooks Koepka. He's a couple holes in. They are both sort of in the mix. Daniel Berger more so. He is presently at T8. He's tied for 8th place. He is 2 under on the day. Sorry, 2 under on the tournament. And that's a nice place to be. The leader's at 7 under, so he's 5 strokes off with a ton of golf to play. Brooks Koepka, not the best first day, but he started his second round strong. He is where did he go? That's not what we want to see. I don't like scrolling down. Yeah. He's still under par for the day. Three holes in. He's sitting at T37. He is at +1 on the tournament. So it's time for him. He needs to have a Friday. Because there's only 2 more days after Friday. And, you don't want to get too far back. You don't want to get too far back where you don't have a chance to win. Right? So, go Noles. Shout out to both of them up in Augusta. And then,
what's up.
That is what's up, right? It's a big deal.
Yeah.
And then the NBA is where the Pro knows, it's go time for the guys that are all out there, right? There's only one dude, I think 1 or 2, that are missing the playoffs as far as the Noles in the NBA. Terrence Mann with the Hawks are making a run. A couple other guys are making a run. But the interesting one, the most exciting one to me, at least, is our guy Malik Beasley. All right. Malik Beasley might be getting the 6th Man of the Year award. He has had a season from 3, from 3-point range, that's comparable to not just Steph Curry, but Steph Curry's best years. He has been so hot from the three line.
That's
It's
crazy.
just bananas. He's draining everything.
That's crazy.
So yeah, man. And look at where the Pistons have come from last year to this year. And I get it. They're a little bit older. They were a young team, right? That's you're growing together. But they brought in a vet who's seen some things and who's done some things over the years and seems to be working. So that's pretty cool. That's the one that's like the most, most exciting, as far as
I'm
concerned.
especially happy for him because me being a Laker, we signed him for like a year or two or whatever. And I don't know. I'm guessing it was just the whole plan with LeBron factor because we've had maybe 3 or 4 years where, people who come in sharpshooters and just, can't shoot. Well, I'm not going to blame it on LeBron. We had a bunch of turmoil with the team as well or whatever. But with him being from Florida State, I always wanted to see him do better after he left the Lakers. So to see him, get those numbers back to going, that's good.
He had a nice little run with my Nuggets too for a little while.
Yeah.
Little chaos.
Speaking of your Nuggets, man. Speaking of your Nuggets, what the hell going on in Denver, man?
So I guess they felt neither of these guys are going to be on a part of the organization next year. And leadership didn't feel like we were going to make the run that they wanted to make at the title. Let's shake shit up, man, right away.
Well, you know what? I can't even really be on Denver with it. What's going on with the NBA? The last 4 coaches to win NBA championships are not with the teams.
My guy, I think the hook got shorter when the play-in game got added. No, it's you have so many teams that believe they have a chance to make the run, like the Heat did from the play-in game into the finals. You have so many, look at the Warriors. They were out of it until a couple weeks ago. They make a trade and they go on this run. A lot of teams are like, wait a minute, look at our roster. We should be going on a run, or we should be making a trade to go on a run. And the Nuggets didn't do that. The Nuggets weren't in the Butler conversation. The Nuggets weren't in any conversations. And it's because the general manager and the head coach couldn't see eye to eye on anything. And it was a stalemate. You know what I mean? You don't get better if you don't try to get better. If you don't.
The only thing I see different with Denver is this isn't a Nick Nurse in Toronto situation where it was like a one-off championship, or even like Frank Vogel in LA where it's like a one-off year. Like not Nick Nurse, but Denver, the coach had been consistent. Mike Malone has been consistent for the last, 5-6 years.
But the voice gets old sometimes.
From what I was reading, and I wanted to get your take on this, from what I was reading in an article or two yesterday, it was stating that he had always given Jamal Murray and Nikolic, I guess, favoritism, or not as hard on him as he was on the
Jokic. You can't pronounce the two. You can't combine them into Nikolic. I love you.
And this is why I'm glad to have McGee on here, man. I have a whole bunch of angry fan mail, if not.
I love you. That was great. All of a sudden, Serbia hates you. The country of Serbia just hates you. I think you're right. He gives Jamal a little too much leeway. What
I was reading was
my issue was less with coach.
To Russell Westbrook is when the other teammates started. And remember at the beginning when he signed Russ, I was like,
the problem isn't Russell Westbrook. The problem is that no. Listen to what I'm saying. Listen to what I'm saying. The problem isn't Russell Westbrook. The problem is the fact that they have had to play him at the end of games because Aaron Gordon's been out most of the year. Jamal Murray's in and out of the thing. Like they've had injury issues, and they've had to use Russell Westbrook and rely on Russell Westbrook at the end when that was not the intention behind signing him. He was supposed to be the six-man guy. He wasn't really. He was supposed to be the. We need a little juice. We need a little energy. Hop out there and just fire. And unfortunately, we've had to over rely on him. But and that goes back to my issue. My issue is not with Michael Malone, although I do understand that voices get old and sometimes you need to change. And we've seen it. We can look at examples all around sports. Okay. My issue is much more so with Calvin Booth, and I like him as a guy. I like. It seems like he's a good, caretaker of an organization, but I don't love all of his roster decision making. Right, like. I've been very loud that ever since you got lucky with Michael Porter after picking him in the 14 spot with back problems, like you should be trading him while his stock is high and turn a 13 pick into a couple picks and a player, right? That's
the injuries he's had in the league too. Yeah,
you bought low, so you have to sell high, and they haven't been doing that. They keep him, and then Jamal Murray, you can't give another max deal to a guy who can't stay healthy. So there should have been a workaround. Okay, let's do a couple years, you stay healthy and it triggers this, there should have been a way to do that differently.
Even performance space.
Yeah, I just feel like they didn't do a great job at surrounding, although I love the guys. I love that they brought in Aaron Gordon. I think he's great to have next to Jokic. It's just unfortunate he hasn't been healthy this year, and that's rare in his career. He's been healthy, in all his time in Orlando and most of his time in Denver. He's been healthy, so this is a weird year for him. That's not normal. Jamal Murray, on the other hand, kind of stays hurt. Right, Michael Porter Jr. is another back surgery waiting to happen. Right, so I think you got to trade those guys and get everything you can get for them. And we talked about it on the Nebraska Hour with Timmy Nebraska the other day. What I want is to call New Orleans and say, which one do you want? Because we'll take Zion. We'll take Zion.
No.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Zion and Jokic next to each other is game changing. No, the problem for Zion is that he's in New Orleans on a shitty New Orleans team that doesn't know how to take care of him. He'll thrive in Denver. He'll be training at altitude. He'll be surrounded by hippies eating vegan and shit. Watch. They won't do it. But that's what I want. And then I want to sign.
Not dare risk.
And then I want to bring in KD to play the Ray Allen.
There you go. The
three of them. Picture the three of them.
Nah.
Point Zion
playing today's NBA. You wouldn't be able to do 3 max contracts and win like that.
Who's getting it? Dude, KD's not getting another max deal. And honestly, Zion's not getting a max extension. He hasn't been healthy his whole career. Neither of those guys are getting max deals.
It'll be another team out there to give it to him. It'll be another team out there to give it to him.
I know what I'm talking about.
But even that, I'm gonna tell you, this is coming from a Lakers fan who's dealt with AD over the last couple of years. Availability is your best. Your best option, and I'm telling you, bro.
AD was pretty healthy for you guys. Don't.
1 year. 1 year. That was last year. 1 year. That was.
And he was pretty healthy in fucking 2020 when you won the championship too.
Oh yeah, bubble year where we sat out for like a month and a half during.
Why would you discount? I'm
not even discounting it because I'm not discounting
bubble year. That's discounting.
I'm not discounting the championship. I'm discounting his health that year during the championship because he had over a month to sit out. That's the only thing I'm saying about it. Of course, if you sit out for over a month, those knees can get rested for the playoffs, and then you come back to the playoffs and you're healthy. But every year since then, minus last year. Look at this year in Dallas. First game he goes down, bro.
But it also that first fucking half was legendary basketball.
Yeah, and then what? That's why he do earlier this week versus 2 points, 4 points.
That first half of his arrival in Dallas is why you roll the dice with him. You know,
that's why you roll the dice with him is consistency. He'll give you a game like that, and then he'll score 2 points the next night. But my point on that was availability. I wouldn't count on Zion Williamson being there if he's never played. I don't even think he's played half an NBA season since he's been in the league, and he's been in the league like 5+ years now, bro. So
it just dawned on me that you don't view the unibrow as a Hall of Famer, do you?
No, I don't think he's put enough numbers in work. If he wasn't, put it this way, he has Hall of Fame talent. AD, without a doubt, has Hall of Fame talent.
Well, we'll get 7 more years.
But has he played enough to put in Hall of Fame numbers? I don't think he has. I don't think his numbers speak Hall of Fame yet.
Listen, you're my motherfucking brother. All right, this family. This has been for a long time. Okay, so I'll be honest with you. I really only asked you that to set you up because it's dawned on me that you probably don't think Dwight Howard belongs in the Hall of Fame as a first ballot Hall of Famer, do you?
Why? Why wouldn't I?
Okay.
Why wouldn't I?
Okay.
Hell yeah.
Okay. Just wanted to make sure. Because he only had 10 years. You know, he only had that decade. And then
but he was there consistently.
No, I get it.
For a
I get
decade.
it.
Yeah,
I get it. I was just asking.
All the way up
because
until
I would
that
argue
back injury. Yeah, all the way up until that back injury where he was traded to LA or whatever. That's a Hall of Fame career right there.
Yeah, no. I look at the two of them as having very similar careers. And so I just wanted to see where you were at. I didn't know if you were gonna have a problem with Dwight Howard.
The only difference I see in
because a lot of people do.
Yeah. But at least Dwight had those 10 years, those years with Orlando, you know, where he was dominant. He was making all-stars. He led his team to a final. AD is
deep.
Yeah.
I think he got the Defensive Player of the Year like 3 in a row, two in a row, or maybe
he was getting like 20. He was getting like Dennis Rodman numbers at rebounds and stuff, bro.
It was impressive. It was really impressive.
Yeah. Now AD, he puts up those numbers, but he never does it throughout a whole season. He doesn't give you 60, 70 games, you know, consecutive years ends. And I think that's what's going to hold him back when you go to looking at those numbers. What are you ranking blocks? What are you ranking this, that, and the other? But as far as talent,
he'll compile though. He'll compile.
Talented.
He'll compile more.
If he keeps playing, and I hope that he's healthy because I really do like him as a player. I just didn't like the liability of having him on the roster going down every year.
Listen, not for nothing, the NBA needs to hope that Kyrie doesn't come back healthy and AD doesn't come back healthy because the Mavericks. If that roster could work,
they got like 3 or 4 other players.
Right. If that roster could work, and everybody is healthy, it could be dangerous. I see the vision. We'll say, and once Clay retires, they get to reallocate those funds to those resources. I imagine he has 2 more years. I'm not saying he's doing it soon, but I just think they're in rebuilding mode. You know, they made the conscious decision to move on, and now we're going to see. You know, it's going to take them 2 years, but we'll see how they look.
I'm glad of their decision. I couldn't be as happy as I am right now with Luka, man.
No, it's amazing. You're gonna love it. He's a star. He's perfect for the Lakers. He's perfect for the Lakers. He's a star. He is a star without even trying to be. He is a star, which is really what a star is, and somebody who's just born with it. You know, he walks in a room, everybody's like, "Oh shit, Luka! Oh shit, Luka!" Right? Cool.
He's that guy. And then what I like the most about him, Jokic, or whatever, is that they're some of the best in the league, but it's like they're average Joes, bro. Like they have that blue collar mentality.
Real people.
They don't see the real people, man. To see him out there big up in Austin Reeves and stuff, man, it's like wow.
You think that's just the lack of an AAU system over there where they're just they're going to work at an early age. Like they're the academy system in Europe and in Serbia, I imagine it's grind. It's a real grind, right? It's not, you know, I'm looking at my social media numbers at the age of 15, you know, it's not you know, getting NIL bags as a junior in high school. It's working, man. It is working. So I think that's it, man. I just think those guys those guys that come from international settings aren't coddled. They are the ones that are really busting their ass for the job in a way that the American basketball player once did. Right? We don't see that as much anymore now. Like, sneakers for everybody. Right? Back in the day, it was like, I got to borrow somebody else's sneakers just to play today, right? It was a whole different world, man. There's no more. I
always thought when it moved from the outside court to the gym, it became more, you know, a whole different level, man.
You literally took the words out of my mouth. I was going to say there's no more like milk crate stapled to, you know, like nailed to a wall. Like that thing's gone. That world is gone. There's no more like, you got to hit the backboard in just this one spot or else it'll bounce weird. There's none of that shit anymore. It's not, you know, Larry Bird putting up 1,000 jump shots on a fucked up fucked up hoop attached to a barn in a gravel driveway. Right. It's not that anymore. Everybody from an early age are on buses and playing and in sneakers and playing in games, and there's fans in the stands, and it's like a big deal. It's a real big deal in a way that's not the case everywhere. And the international cats are showing up hungrier.
Yeah. You've seen it in the draft. You've seen it in the top 10 stars in the league right now. Whatever, it's showing, man. It's showing.
Yep. Interesting, man. Interesting. Only other thing while we're talking about the NBA, while we're talking about your Lakers, I hate to do this to you, but like,
go ahead.
Sam Cassell being an assistant coach for the Celtics has, in a weird way, like I've always kind of had a distaste for the Celtics. I dislike them. I just did a whole podcast with Van Aylward yesterday, all about how much the Celtics, the Red Sox, the Lakers, there's a class of hated teams. And we were just talking about how much I hate the Celtics or naturally. But I want to see good things happen for Sam Cassell. Right.
That's
and I have this weird feeling where, like, on one side of me is like, fuck the Celtics, and I'm rooting against the Celtics, and the other side of me is like, come on, Sam, go get yourself a ring. Like, it's a weird feeling. But.
Yeah, it's a weird feeling, man. I put it to, I remember my freshman and sophomore year at Florida State when I had friends that I went to school with that played for Florida. So when that Florida State game came, it's like, this is my boy. We played high school ball together. But damn, you're a Gator right now. You know what I mean? So it's like, I want to see you succeed, but not against us.
Not against us.
And it's still fuck the Gators. You know what I mean? Yeah. So and that's exactly how I feel about Sam Cassell with the Celtics. It's like I never would like the Celtics. I've always, even before I was a Laker fan, I never really liked the Celtics. Because before then, I was
one of those teams,
Jordan fan, and it was Jordan and and Larry or whatever. So it was always fuck the Celtics or whatever. Yeah. But as far as Sam Cassell, happy for him. Couldn't be a better organization for him to work for him to get add on to his illustrious career, and hopefully. I want to see this man get a head coaching job one day freaking soon. And he's approaching 10, 20 years in the league as an assistant. Come on.
That's what we were talking about, was how come he didn't get offered the Florida State job. Right. And it dawned on me that he might have just said, hey, it's a bad time for me. I have a chance here. I have a chance with these Celtics to make a run. I can't leave in February. Right. And miss that run. And it could have just been bad timing, or he views himself as an NBA guy. He just doesn't see himself as a college coach.
I totally agree. Not to mention
Memphis would be a great job for him. Him in Ja's ear is not bad. I would love. I would do backflips if he gets the Denver job. I might move back. If Sam, I'll tell you what, here's the deal. If Sam Cassell gets the job, I will move back. I'll be his bag man. I'll help him out. I got him. Whatever you need, coach. You know what I mean? I got it.
That would be dope. That would be dope. Yeah.
Sacramento's not a bad job either. They got some young talent.
Who they got? I thought they about shipped everybody out of Sacramento. Wow. They still got that center. His dad played
Sabonis, buddy.
Sabonis, yeah. I like this.
His dad was nasty, bro.
Yeah.
He was the first. That was the first 7-footer with point guard skills. All right, that was long before there was a Wembayama. Long before there was a Jokic. Long before a lot of these guys were able to be. Sabonis' dad. Fucking Arvydas Sabonis. Sabonis' dad. He was the guy. He walked. He walked. So Joker or Wemby could run.
Yep. I remember one of him and Greg Ostertag or something like that.
Wow. He didn't really. I mean, he couldn't really handle the ball like that. It was just a different.
No. He could hit a three.
He could hit a three. He started the stretch.
Yeah.
It was just a different game back then. Centers played a different role,
Oh, yeah. For center hit a three, like everybody went wild and crazy. It's just, I can't believe Now
good passing big men is a product of the game changing, right? Like the ball used to end with the big man. It used to go down to the big man, he'd get a layup or he'd get fouled, right? Yep. The kick out pass became more and more in fashion as the 3-point shot became more and more in fashion, right?
Yep.
There was generations of basketball players that weren't coached to look for the kick out because they didn't value, or actually there wasn't a 3-point line. And then when there was, they didn't value it the same. They're like, oh, I got a better chance to make the 2, right? Now they realize these shooters are so good, it's okay to miss a few more threes because you make more points when you make the threes, right?
Yep.
So the math has changed. And now they're teaching the centers. You can run the offense through the block. You can use the center as the distributor, you know, and that's why Jokic's amazing because he's essentially and you know, there's other really good passing big men that are good at it, but he's the best at running an offense from the block.
Yeah. Did you see a clip yesterday? They had him running plays on the sideline, man. I was like, look at Jokic, man.
Yep. Van brought up on the pod. I like having Van over. He's like the kind of the newest addition to the podcast family. He's super Boston guy. So there's been some really fun conversations about this, but he brought up player coach. Like, why not just have Jokic be the coach from the court? You know, player coach. We used to see it in the NBA. We haven't seen it in a while, but we used to see it. You know.
Yep. Hey, that would be dope.
That'd be wild. Other thing we got coming up, man. It's 3 weeks until the draft.
This is going to be one of the most interesting drafts, I think, in a long time.
Where's your guy Cam Ward getting drafted?
From the looks of everything I've been looking at, I'm thinking he's going number 1 overall, but I don't agree with it.
Well, you don't agree with the pairing with the Titans, or you don't agree with him being the number 1 pick?
I mean, if you need a quarterback overall, I'm going with Shedeur. You put it, bro. Like,
that's interesting. I didn't realize that's what you were saying. That's really interesting. So you don't view Cam as the number 1 quarterback in the draft?
No, and that's nothing off.
I don't view him as the number 1 draft pick, but I don't know if I agree with you as far as number 1 quarterback. But I'm
just looking at it straight as a skill position. I think the number 1 pick depends on what you're looking for.
Right, Hunter. If you don't know what you want Travis Hunter.
Right.
Exactly. If you don't have like a clear position need, just take Travis Hunter because he's the one that can do the most, right? But you're right. It's what you need. So as first pick, I agree. Cam Ward may or may not be the best player in this draft, but isn't necessarily the first pick. But I'm surprised to hear this because I haven't heard that many people make the Sanders over Ward argument. They're different.
I'm saying it, one, because he's only had 1 breakout year last year with Miami. 2, his breakout year was with Miami, and who really didn't play any top defenses. You know what I mean? Like, I want to say the biggest game was Florida or something last year or whatever. And then they had a bunch of upsets. He had a great year last year, but even in the great year that he had, Shedeur threw for more yards and had a better completion percentage. He had a 74% completion percentage. And
a lot of those passes were right at the line of scrimmage, though.
Yes, but hey, it's West Coast offense. You know what I mean?
Everybody's are. Sorry, my bad. My bad. You're absolutely right. Everybody's are.
But the thing with that is not just last year. This is here year in and year out. Whether it's this year, the year before with Colorado, the 2 years before in Mississippi at Jackson State or whatever. Every year he plays, he has a high completion percentage, whether it's downfield or whatever. It's just everything you're looking at in a quarterback or whatever. Only thing I will give you with Cam Ward is I feel like he may have a higher ceiling.
I was going to say he works hard. He's gotten better every year. He didn't get a ton of offers. He went to Incarnate Word or something. He busted his ass.
I don't even think he was in like a running offense in high school.
He busted his ass. He got the next shot. He busted his ass. And now, I mean,
so I can give you that. I
like that attitude. I do like that attitude. I do. He has a little Baker in him. He's got a little Baker Mayfield in him, which I really like. I really like
a lot. Yeah. That's actually a great comparison to him, Baker Mayfield.
And that's the one knock I have on Shedeur Sanders is there's kind of not enough of that Baker Mayfield. He's and people think like, oh, it's Deion's kid. Oh, great athlete, but like he's kind of a pocket quarterback. He's kind of a he's a system quarterback. Like he'll do, you know, they'll design the right, you know, system around him. I think he'll do very well. But I don't know. Cam Ward has more weapons in the bag, and I feel like there's this dog. Like he feels like he can make some shit happen when it breaks down. Whereas Sanders, it kind of needs to go well for him, right? Like he'll go through his reads, bomb, 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 bomb. It's a system. You know, he's a system guy. They're different kind of quarterbacks. One's a feel. One's a you know, follow the play, follow the script, do the job, right? And it's exciting. I would like for them to kind of merge. I think the perfect quarterback is half and half. You know, it's the two of them. You know, but I'm excited to watch.
Look at Shedeur outside of old boy. He really hasn't had too many targets, or whatever.
True.
You know
true. It'll be great to watch.
He's been able to do it with less talent. Yep. You saw in Miami with all of those weapons, you know what I mean? Of course, not to say he did his thing. I ain't taking nothing from him or whatever, but being drafted as a rookie in the league, and we talk about this countless of shows, you know he's not going to have shit. They're going to put him in the shittiest situation or whatever. And that's another reason why I would say, you know, if I'm drafting a quarterback first, that means I really need a quarterback. That means I don't have enough weapons or whatever to put around him.
Yeah.
Shedeur is the safest.
You think so? Because you got a picture he's going to end up on like the Browns or the Giants, right?
That's
One
what
of
I'm
these
saying.
teams that don't really have a great offensive line, though.
Right. And
I don't like that.
Colorado didn't have a great offensive line last year.
Yeah, that's okay. So
the year before,
there's two ways to look at this. On one side, it's going to be great to see him with some professional weapons, multiple weapons, etc. I do like that. But on the flip side, you're putting him on the team with like the least amount of those weapons.
Exactly.
That just goes back to it's un-American. This motherfucking draft.
I knew you was about to say. I knew it. We talk, and I totally agree with you on that, man. And that's why I say, like, it's different teams. Like say if I'm the 49ers, I'm taking Cam Ward over Shedeur all day long or whatever, because I got a nice offense team built around him or whatever. Yeah. But if I'm in the opposite type situation, I would want more of a proven, more of a consistent quarterback than someone with a high upscale or whatever. But I like both of the kids. I love both of the kids, bro.
Yeah, I mean, you were high on both of them for years. So I'm not, I know you are. It's just interesting. You're making some points that I hadn't considered. You're making an argument I hadn't heard. And so it was interesting. Super interesting.
Yeah, but has there been any? And then that's not to mention all of the teams and medias with issues with Shedeur and it's so much going on with this draft that's football related, not football related, scheme related, teams that's in disasters. It's just this is a soup of a great draft this year, bro. You know what I'm saying?
So we definitely have one Noel getting drafted.
Two. Got at least
you're sure
getting drafted.
You're sure? Both?
I am,
sure?
Bro. We got one of them is our cornerback. He is I can barely say his name. Azariah Thomas. He's definitely going off and most likely going off first day. And then we got the defensive tackle, Joshua Farmer. He's like ranked the 9th best defensive tackle overall.
Yeah, I imagine that's still probably, round 4. Round 3, round 4, right?
Yeah, 3, 4. Yeah. Yep.
Day 2.
So we got 2 people definitely going off on the boards, bro, for sure. Even our
good guys too. Good guys, not just good football players. Good guys. You can tell when a Florida State guy is going in the draft, and I'm like, oh man, just what an athlete, because it means I'm avoiding the whole like, oh, great guy. These two though are like legit great guys. So. I suspect decent careers for both of them.
Oh yeah, all of them have been. Farmer will be a great rotational player, and I think he'll be good in the league now that they're you know, what was they talking about? The tush push. So with them talking about the tush push and everything, they're gonna start drafting those what's Vita Vea types or whatever.
Yeah, the bigger D linemen that take up space.
Exactly, or just multiple people to stay fresh in the middle to keep that, you know, 1 yard pressing going.
We're seeing a real focus on having a big, like a depth at that position, having depth at the defensive line. So yeah, he should have a career. Man, there's no reason, you know, if he stays healthy, he should have a long career in the NFL.
Yep. And then Thomas, definitely, I can see him definitely being a starter somewhere in the league.
Yeah, perfect pick for the Bucs. Perfect pick for the Bucs.
That's what we goddamn need. For real.
I'll buy the jersey. Just call the Glazers now. Tell them they'll at least sell one jersey. All right, like that's I got one jersey on it. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. Straight up. Oh man. Yeah, he reminds me of the cornerback that we had. What was that cornerback that we had back in the day that we traded to Denver and then he ended up getting a Super Bowl with Peyton Manning?
Oh, Revis Island? No, not Revis.
Not Revis.
The other, it was the other dude. I don't know why I said Revis Island. It's shit. This is bad. This is bad live streaming, buddy. It's not supposed to be us being like, oh, we're old, can't remember people's names. We're supposed to be like, bam, 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 bam.
Yeah, but we are getting old. I have to come back on that.
You're going to have to come back on it, my guy. You're going to have to come back on it. He was a Buck?
We drafted him. And then we traded him to Denver. And he won like a Super Bowl like the next year.
So across from Champ Bailey? Who was across from Champ Bailey from the Broncos? I don't know.
It wasn't that far back. It wasn't that far back.
Oh, it was the other Broncos? I got nothing, man. This is bad. This is bad live streaming on YouTube. .com/@NATIONOLE.
yeah, I'm gonna chuck that one. I can't find it. I have to. We will revisit it. I'm gonna think of it once the show ends, and I'm gonna come back. Hey, remember last week?
Literally before the outro video is over, you're gonna be like, "Oh, I know."
Oh, right.
Speaking of the outro video, I think we can wrap it up a little. We're gonna talk more draft next week, I'm sure. Right, we're going to do a little. We'll look back and see. Who knows? Maybe Daniel Berger or Brooks Koepka make a run this weekend, and bring home the green jacket. And
right on.
And the other thing, next week we'll literally be on the doorstep of the NBA playoffs. And although fortunately, there's a couple Knowles in the NBA, and it gives us an excuse to talk about NBA playoffs because we both love it. So this is good.
Yes, sir.
This is good. This was fun. Why don't you? Oh wait, I closed the show. You start the show.
Bro.
I'm like, all right, let's go, buddy. Take it home.
All right.
The National Show is co-produced by Broham and B Yappin. And you enjoy it as a video product. It is available at youtube.com/national NATIONOLE @national. And if you would like to enjoy it as a audio product, it is available at betyourash.com and the Bet Your Ash feeds on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. We have a ton of social media stuffs on the Instagram and on the X. You can get in touch with us there. The links are available on our Linktree. It is /National Show. Linktree /National Show. NATIONOLESHOW. Also, all those links are at national.com, so you can go there too. Gangstaville has a link tree also. It is /Gangstaville, GAINSTAVILLE. There you can find all his social links plus links to all his music. He has another project about to drop. Check out all of his albums on all of the platforms they're available. That's the best way to support your friends that make music, and Gangstaville is your friend. Even if you haven't met him yet, I promise you, he's your friend. You don't even know it. He's your friend. So support him, all the platforms, listen to his music, and I think that's it. Yes? No? Is that everything?
To me.
All right. Well, then, go Noles.
Go Noles.
And you have just finished listening to The National Show with Gangsta, Physio, and McGee.